Hi, you're watching Sipping Off the Cup on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our social media platforms. I am Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Jim Johnston in Youngstown, Ohio.
Jim and I have, it's interesting because he and I have had all kinds of different stuff to drink this year, but this is our first ready to drink. And this one is called Azulana. And we named the original recipe, which is basically tequila and soda.
Just a hint of a little salinity in it.
Yeah, we named it as a brand of promise nominee in the ready to drink category. There was a couple of things that I were really impressed with. Number one is that by and large, some of the ready to drinks and margarita mixes that we get here at Tequila Aficionado are, if they have alcohol in them, if they have tequila in them, they're usually coming from a distillery with a diffuser. In this case, I was really shocked when I read, and I didn't get the chance to read any of that information till today. They have a NOM number, which technically they have to have, and the NOM is 1443. I'm not sure if you can even see that off mine, but you can probably see it off of Jim's. 1443. It's got the CRT seal on it as well. 1443. If that number sounds familiar to you, it's because they make Dulce Vida, Don Pilar, and Puerto Bello, which Jim and I tasted earlier this year, and is also a brand of promise nominee. Now, we were talking off camera that we thought that the first version, which is the original recipe, the blue one that you see here, we enjoyed it because I didn't know what to expect. It just so happens that when you use a diffuser tequila by and large lends itself to adulteration, to additives, to recipes, and because at this point, if you're a startup brand, it is more cost effective. Okay, it really is, because what you're doing is you're distilling vodka. Okay, it's agave vodka. In this case, they didn't do that. Azulana, the gentleman, the founder, his name is let me get his name so that
Henry Morita.
Henry Morita, and Henry's out of Pasadena, California, and they went and used real tequila, and we still found it very, very light. But what Jim and I enjoyed was that we feel that because he went and used the good stuff, the good juice, to blend with his particular cocktail and recipe, that you didn't need to have more of the booze to taste the booze.
No, this is coming in at like a Miller Lite level alcohol by volume, but it is that unadulterated thing where if you read the ingredients on any of the cans that we're tasting, they're very simple. You can pronounce all of them, and there's sea salt, there's natural lemon and lime flavor, citric acid, a little bit of agave syrup, the tequila, the carbonated water. But it's not heavy. It's not chemically. It's not overly sweet. At least the first one wasn't. Yeah. And we've got the lime. So
yeah.
I don't see much more on this than I did on the last one, except that lime and lemon flavor. So I'm not expecting this to be much more removed from that in terms of sweetness or the lightness of it.
What's the calorie count on that also? Is that it's
145 for all of them, because it really is the agave syrup that's giving it any of the calories. The natural lemon's not going to add anything to it. So I've seen 145 on all of them. So you're basically in light beer territory here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have this one. This is the lime flavor, right? And I'm going to have mine. It's simply refreshing. It's what it says here. I'm going to have mine at room temp, and later on I'll just add ice to my rocks glass, because like I said, we didn't even know what kind of glassware to use. Jim is going to pop this. Now yours came out of the fridge, right?
I put mine in the fridge. I wanted it to be chilled, like it was going to come out of a cooler at a tailgate or a concert.
Oh.
And incidentally, speaking of tailgates, this is the official sparkling tequila of the Rose Bowl.
Oh, that's right. That's
So I'm
right.
up here in Big Ten country, and I'll have to go to the Rose Bowl to actually get this stuff because I'm here in Ohio. But still,
Well, it's okay.
this
The
is
Buckeyes go this year. Jeez.
the Buck. Well, we'll see what happens Saturday. They might end up in the national championship game. So,
Well, there you go. No, that's right. You read that, and I had seen it, but I didn't. There was a press release, I believe, that came out and said that they were the. In fact, if you need to follow them, they have social media, but we found these folks on Instagram, so they do a really great job on their Instagram. So follow them. Tell them that you saw the review on Tequila. Shout out to us and to them. I like this lime flavor. This is what I'm kind of more used to. This almost smells like a Paloma. This
really does. It's got a little bit, grapefruit flavor. It honestly, I felt like I just opened a Fresca.
Okay. All right. Cool. Remember Fresca? I remember Fresca. I remember Zima too.
Well,
hey,
what are you gonna do?
Again,
that lime flavor is lime flavored.
Yeah.
That's just like we had the original one with a dash of fresh citrus in it. It's not straight lime because I know there's lemon and lime listed on the ingredients list, but it's the original flavor with just the citrus kicked up a notch and not in a fake way at all. It feels like they squeezed real juice in here.
Well, the other thing too is that I don't know if Jim is tasting it at room or at chilled temperature, but at room temperature, on the back end, on the finish, is the salt.
Yep, I still get that.
Do you? This is like a Paloma, man. This almost smells like there's a company that was recently bought by an American company, but it's Topo Chico that the people would use as their soda for tequila. Tequila and soda, technically the soda they would use is Topo. I've had one or two bottles in the house. I don't normally drink my tequila with soda. If I do anything, it's straight.
Right.
But I understand that tequila and soda is in the financial district of New York, it became a very popular drink. And there's an article. I wish I could find if I could remember the title, but it's a bros drink. So that was part of the title. It was like everybody was drinking it, and it became a thing. So now, but it's always been a thing in Mexico. It's always been a Paloma. It's a light way of enjoying your tequila. You don't have to shoot it or down it or anything, and you can enjoy a nice leisurely lunch or a tailgate or whatever.
This is like a light Paloma to me. It's probably because when I mix my own Palomas, I'm adding a little bit more tequila than what is in here. But I do notice a little bit of the tequila flavor in the background now where it was up front with the original one, just because that lime flavor is there. But it's still light. It's very crisp with the citrus flavor. It's not overpowering. It's not chemically. The carbonation's great on this.
Yeah. I've got a rocks glass. I'm gonna throw some ice in it because I got my handy dandy ice bucket. I'm gonna chill this very quickly. And again, I'm adding ice, so it's gonna be even more watered down eventually, just for the nature of what the ice does. But I'm gonna throw that in here into my Flor de Caña glass.
There you go.
Okay. Now, the thing of this is, of course, it's an RTD. The category is ready to drink, and I don't know if we would alter this. Would we do a shot on the side? Would it be even necessary? I mean,
if you really wanted to kick it up and you wanted a lot more of that tequila profile coming through, I would say you could do that. But if you're really, if you're just looking for something light and refreshing that's on the tequila flavor profile that does not have the hard stuff in it, I wouldn't touch it other than to throw it over some ice or chill it. If you want to add some additional tequila to it, I think that'd be fine. But and you always throw in some extra slices of citrus in here to kick it up a little bit more. But I don't think it'll. To me, it's good by itself.
Well, see, now I've got my ice here, and I'm gonna taste it cold now. So let's see. I gotta tell you, man, it's got a good bite to it.
It does, and that salt is it's not overdone and it's not fake. It just tastes like they had the right amount of sea salt added to this just to give it that little bit of salinity at the back.
Well, it's almost very authentic in a can. Because sea salt, some people, and I've seen people do it, either in Mexico, I've seen people do it, throw a pinch of salt in their beer.
Right.
And it's almost like an afterthought, or like it's good luck or something. But when you use sea salt, if you've ever used sea salt, one of the things that I do if I wind up losing my voice is I'll gargle with salt, but not just any salt. You can use table salt, iodized salt, but many times I'll use sea salt or even like pink salt, like rock salt, and gargle with that. And it's more of a therapeutic kind of salt. But and I probably still do have a bag of sea salt that we got them from a woman who would import the sea salt from, I think, Sonora. I'm not sure. There are people that harvest salt, and then she would put it in plastic bags and then import them in muslin bags that were embroidered by hand by the women in the village. And if you know anything about sea salt, you don't have, it's always damp. It never dries out, and you don't need a lot. So it's like the sea salt in the backer. It's just a pinch of salt, man.
And it doesn't have the iodine of table salt.
Right.
It's very light. It's very, and I think the added citrus in this is good. It's not too much. It still retains a little bit of the flavor of the original, but it's like you added a little bit of your own citrus to it. This is nice.
I like it. I
could sit outside on a hot day and drink this over ice very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you won't lose your faculties or your ability, and you can still function. This is really
you won't get kicked out of the concert.
Yeah, right. Or the barbecue or whatever.
Right.
What do you think, man? Brand of Promise nominee on this one?
I think so. I think, I'm up here in Big Ten country. Whoever ends up at the Rose Bowl, you guys got to go find this stuff.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Bring it back here.
Bring it back there, man. I tell you what, if it does wind up to the Buckeyes, I don't know when the last time I saw a Rose Bowl or even noticed. Maybe the last time I ever saw one was when the Buckeyes were in it. But yeah, you said that they were the official
they're the official sparkling tequila of the Rose Bowl. I don't know how many other sparkling tequilas are actually out there that would be competition for them, but I think that's some good exposure for them.
Absolutely. I think that they're onto something. I'm not exactly sure what it entailed to be called the official sparkling tequila, but it's got that I thought it was going to be a cross between a cocktail and an energy drink. I'm thinking it's going to taste like a Red Bull or something.
This is the exact opposite of any ready to drink that's got additives, or this does not taste in any way unnatural.
No.
If you mixed your own tequila and soda at home with a couple slices of lime, it would taste much more like that than this does anything that you would expect coming out of a can. So don't let this fool you.
Yeah, I think he's onto something, and the nice thing is, again, Mr. Morita did not have to amp up his ingredients. He didn't have to add more tequila to get that alcohol by volume where it needed to be. He used less. The additives that he's got in there are pretty natural tasting.
Yeah,
and I think it's almost like a throwback to what people do in Mexico when they have lunch at midday or something like that, or they go visit. It's always tequila and soda, or here in Texas, it's tequila and Topo Chico, which is a soda water, which was also I bought out. I think nothing. All those Mexican juices and stuff, they don't belong to Mexico anymore. They've all been sold,
Right.
So, but
No, this is you're right. It's kind of like, I don't think he was trying to add anything to it. I think he was trying to blend it
right.
so that those natural flavors came out in it. So I like it.
I do too. Brand of Promise nominee. So
Absolutely.
that's our take here on Azulana, and this is the lime version. So if you see this online, or you know what, if you're on social media, go follow them on Instagram. They do a really really great job on their Instagram. Tell them that we sent you. But stick with us because we have one more flavor to try, and I'm really interested in this one.
I am too.
Because this is an unusual combo, okay? So anyway, that's our take on Azulana, the lime version. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That young man out there is
Jim Johnston, Youngstown, Ohio.
And you have been watching and listening to us on Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the red button. You'll all kind of happiness things will. Your college team will make it to the Rose Bowl if you click that red button. Download us wherever you listen to podcasts, and whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.